Saddle up the rumor wagon and hop aboard because things are about to get weird. A forum user correctly predicted the May 7th online service info dump, and now the Switch community is wondering what else he may have correctly predicted. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and last week we got a big post that seemed like a bunch of BS. It was a list of everything that Nintendo will be revealing at their presentation, including information about the online service and the date that info would be unveiled to the public. This poster, Lazzy Man, over on the GameFAQs message boards, claimed that Nintendo would be revealing the online service on May 7th. Today is May 7th. Today, Nintendo dropped info on the online service. So now the Twitterverse and the world of Nintendo fandom is kind of on fire, wondering what else, if anything, from his post is correct. And some people are just taking it with no grains of salt and saying that it's all correct. And some people are taking it with all the salt and saying none of it's correct. It's a lucky guess. And I kind of just wanted to go through it with you, Gabe, and discuss where we stand and how probably the best interpretation, what the best interpretation of this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? He already has some things that aren't necessarily coming to fruition the way he said. So, again, salt. But it's a topic that's being discussed in the Nintendo online, verse. So, yeah. I felt like we should talk about it and see what we think. I've just in the last 10 minutes or so, I went from thinking hey, this could be interesting and it might be true to I don't think it's true, but it's just so weird that he got the May 7th thing so spot on.
Right. Now, just to give a little backstory before we go through the list, apparently this actually originated on 4chan, and apparently the verified information was the date, the information about Pokemon, and the information about Five Nights at Freddy's, which just saying that feels so weird. But we'll get to that in a moment. So some of this originated on 4chan, and then it was taken with all of this other stuff and sort of claimed as his own, this Lazzy Man poster, which already sort of starts a troubled past for this leak, this rumored leak. So he says that the Nintendo Switch Online service details would be revealed on May 7th. Check, correct. He says the service goes live on September 24th. TBD. The service offers dedicated voice chat through an existing chat service, Discord being the most popular choice. Incorrect. Right off the bat, we start to get some of these factoids that are false, because as we know, the voice chat is being handled through the already existing Nintendo Online app on your smartphone. He also mentions that there is a Games with Gold PlayStation Plus monthly retro games program. In fact, Nintendo has switched that up, and it is more of an open library where all the games will be available to subscribers/members at any time. He says they're ditching the Virtual Console brand and replacing it with Nintendo Classics. The games are going to be much cheaper. It'll start with NES and GBA in August, and the N64 and SNES will launch late 2018, early 2019, and then he gets in the E3 presentation. And the two bits that apparently are more heavily rumored and apparently came from that original 4chan source are that Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Switch, albeit a censored version, and that Pokemon is being revealed at E3 and releasing this year, but it is a redone version of Red and Blue in Kanto with graphics that lie between Pokemon As You Know It and Pokken Tournament.
So much to go through here, right? I mean, there's a lot more that's said here, and we'll go over it in a little bit. But right off the bat, a couple of things that didn't necessarily pan out, right? That this mention of Discord, that's not happening by what we know. This Nintendo Classics thing, there was no mention of GBA games whatsoever. And if that was happening in August, I feel like they would have mentioned that. So yeah. Already some wind being taken out of the sails here. But do you want to go on with the rest of these things, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to talk about just because he did somehow get this date right. And, there's always the possibility of dumb luck. There's always the possibility of, something being heard and then using that as a venue to extrapolate all these other details. I don't know that we've ever really seen a leak of this magnitude ever be correct? So that's the first thing that I think about. It's still over a month before E3. This level of everything has never really come to fruition. So I very much operate on the premise that this is 95% false, and either there was some leak about the date, or it was just a lucky guess. But yeah, let's go through. So the Pokemon thing, has been rumored before that it is a new take on Red and Blue. That's not a new theory. I personally think it seems a little odd, just because Gen 8 has been sort of the hotter topic, I feel, even amongst the leaks and rumors. Five Nights at Freddy's coming to Switch just seems odd, and the fact that it's censored, not enforced by Nintendo, but on the creator's end, that's also just a very strange thing to me. But the two that really sort of stick out as sore thumbs to me, and not from playing too much Switch, but rather as just awkward, are that Fire Emblem is called Lustrous Daybreak. That's just a weirdo title. I know that Radiant Dawn was was the subtitle for the GameCube game or the Wii game, one of the two, and they do like to use their elegant words, but we have had Fates and we have had Awakening, and those are far more simplistic. And Lustrous Dawn just sounds,
I mean,
much.
We've had weird names. I don't know. Path of Radiance is a little bit weird. Like the Sacred.
Yeah, Path of Radiance on GameCube. Radiant Dawn was the Wii title.
Yeah. Genealogy of the Holy War. Like,
do you want to know the definition of lustrous?
Sure.
Having luster or shining. So it's like a very shining. I don't know. That just.
Yeah.
Lustrous Daybreak, I don't know, just almost seems like a goof. But they say it's coming holiday this year, and then they also say that Mario Odyssey is getting DLC, with Luigi being released the day of the presentation, adding 70 unique moons, and then Wario and Waluigi also being released as playable characters, with another 140 moons, 70 for each, and that they will be playable at E3. Now, a lot of people have picked up on the Wario and Waluigi aspect is like this has to be just someone's pipe dream, because the likelihood of them placing those characters in the game seems slim, and then in the game as playable, that just seems almost absurd.
Yeah. I mean, it's a video game, so
I know, but those are the two that stand out to me as really odd. We'll go through the rest quickly just so you can get it. He claims that Yoshi is now subtitled Flipped Around. Yoshi Flipped Around and has amiibo functionality similar to Woolly World. It's coming out in August. There is a new Paper Mario game coming in 2019 that has more of the traditional partner-style gameplay, but features the character limitations from Sticker Star and Color Splash. Activision is bringing a Crash Bandicoot amiibo that brings time trials to the Insane Trilogy. Black Ops 4 Battle Royale is coming to Switch. That is a former or a recent rumor, I guess. We've had no confirmation of that. I guess our next date on this guy's salt meter is May 17th when they have the Black Ops reveal. Like, do we see more about that Battle Royale mode? Do we get any indication of Switch? Because he says it's coming. The Battle Royale mode is coming to Switch, but not the regular Black Ops 4, which we have heard.
Mm-hmm. Crossplay, just to throw that out there. He says that crossplay with PC and Xbox would be a thing on Switch.
Which seems odd. Not the crossplay, but the specificity of that. I don't know. Sega Ages will launch in the West with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. This one, again, sort of like the Wario thing, feels a little just jokey to me. Like, Supersonic Racing is revealed, takes inspiration from Sonic R with certain characters running on their own while some, like Tails, use vehicles. Okay. Metroid Prime 4 gameplay trailer, which if you take Nintendo's word at face value, I mean, they said 2018, and this is like New Paper Mario 2019,
yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 2019, SNES and N64 games 2019, like...
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking is like, hey, this isn't real. But, all right, keep going.
We mentioned Pokemon, we mentioned Five Nights, closing with Smash, and there are two trailers, one unveiling Captain Toad as a character, the other bringing both Crash Bandicoot and Spyro as characters. And I guess I skipped over the fact that the Spyro trilogy would also be coming to Switch. And he says that the ice climbers will be revealed during the tree house. And he claims that a contact with connections to marketing saw all of this and shared it to me. Have a good day, and remember to check back on May 7th. Now, the May 7th thing, again, this is why it's even being considered or discussed, but I'm going to just say my position is that the rest of this, I don't believe. I mean, there's something like, yeah, Call of Duty Battle Royale could come to Switch, but I don't think it's because of this list. I very much think this is a pie-in-the-sky, weirdo pipe dream of an E3 that has a lot of, like, fan-favorite moments, but doesn't seem to have a lot of the substance that I would expect from Nintendo this E3.
Yeah, I mean, just to mention a couple of things that you sort of omitted, right? They say that the Smash gameplay is shown and that it's a mix of Smash and Melee, being very colorful yet detailed, and it's supposed to come out in September alongside the online service. So that would indicate it's like a new game. The other thing I wanted to touch on, and it's another reason why I don't think that this is real, says the Nintendo E3 presentation is currently 36 minutes long and focuses only on Switch titles, with Treehouse being used to announce the 3DS stuff. I don't think Nintendo knows how long that thing is right now. Like, I think they're still, like, ironing that out. I mean, unless, like, they have this, like, ready now. I mean, we're still, like,
I don't know how far in advance those things are produced, but that, to me, could be plausible. I mean,
yeah,
we're 35, 34 days away from that being aired. I mean, I don't know how quickly those things come together. I know that for the live presentations, Microsoft and Sony have multiple schedule/agendas depending on what the other reveals or depending on what they feel they need. But with a pre-canned presentation, I don't know how early that's recorded.
Yeah.
Look, it's being discussed. I think there's a lot of hope just because there are some very cool aspects here. There's also some what I would consider disappointing ones. I mean, I think the Mario Odyssey DLC being playable characters instead of kingdoms is a bit of a bummer, even though it would be wacko as heck to have Wario and Waluigi in that game. I think Pokemon being a revamped Red and Blue is a bit of a bummer. But all in all, it's like a pretty packed show. I mean, you're bringing in Paper Mario, you're bringing Spyro and Crash to Smash, you're getting Metroid Prime 4 gameplay. It's definitely intriguing and interesting to discuss, but I very much think that this should be dismissed as either, dumb luck, or one piece that doesn't necessarily lead to all the others.
Yeah, no argument here. I don't even think that it's like necessarily like real or anything. It's just that May 7th thing. It's so hard to ignore. And again, like Twitter started talking about it, and of course Reddit jumps in, and it's hard not to discuss these things just because it's like so interesting. Even at like the 2% chance that some of this stuff is real, like I think it's worth discussing.
Yeah. So let us know your take. More, I guess, on if anything speaks to you as why this would be valid. I don't know that it's really that worth evaluating, would this be a good E3 show or not, because it's, again, as Gabe mentioned, 98% or maybe even more is completely false. But yeah, let us know your take. We just wanted to bring sort of our perspective to this situation since it is gaining a lot of traction and a lot of fire around the interwebs. Make sure to let us know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, the online service, and the eventual actual E3 presentation. Follow us on Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching Fantastic Day. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.